Well, hey YouTube, it's Friday the 13th. Actually tends to be a pretty lucky day for me usually, so hoping that keeps on going. So it's been a few days since I posted a video, and I wanted to show you where we're at. The frame itself has been totally core sealed, and I'm just waiting on the actual cover paint that we're going to put over the core seal just to get a little bit of more protection and then seal it up a little bit better. The front bumper, as you can see, it's green. Went ahead and did do a little bit of core seal on there, but I think I'm going to strip that off and then pull that front bumper off and actually core seal the complete thing, and then paint it black, you know, to match the remainder of the frame. So the top and the bottom has been done with the core seal. We did flip the frame over. As you can see, there's some dust on here. So if you see any kind of, you know, like right here, that's just dust. I'll wipe that right off. You can see, there you go. And, but it is pretty glossy. And like I said before, you know, none of the welds are broken. And one of the issues we're having is this shackle back here, where I cut it off, I guess that'd be the passenger side rear shackle bolt that goes to the frame. Tried heat, tried pipe wrenches, so I've got a special bi-directional bolt remover socket that's on its way, and I'm going to try the impact gun and then some heat on it and see if we can't get it out either later on today or probably tomorrow. So while I was waiting on paint to dry, as you all know, that's real fun to do, went ahead and power washed the leaf springs, and I've got them paired up. So the front ones are those two right there, and then the two rear are right there. So I've got all the grease and all the grit out of it. So now what I need to do is go and power wire brush it, and then, or brush them, and then core seal them, and then we'll put some of the same black zero rust paint that we're going to put on the frame. And let's see, I did want to show you something on one of these shocks. I don't know if anybody's ever seen one of this, but the eyelet actually is broken right here. So see if I can't see that. It should be perfectly round and welded in a circle. Well, I'm pretty sure that was one of the back shocks, and of course that's not good on suspension travel, and that's probably why it was tracking a little bit down the road crooked. And the other thing I've been doing while waiting on paint and waiting on parts is disassembly of the rear axle. So I've got the complete pumpkin all the way apart. I take the brake plates off that hold the brake mechanisms, the pads. I actually take those off the axles and I do a complete restoration. A lot of people just, you know, they go and they take all the ancillary parts off, and then they go and you know, sandblast it or what have you, and then paint it. Well, I take it all the way down to bare metal, and as you can see, this is where that would normally mate up. So I'm going to clean that up, and then we'll tape that off, and then core seal it and paint it. Obviously it needs to be wire brushed and degreased and everything like that. So a couple of the issues I'm having is getting those seals out. That one right there, completely disintegrated. There's not even any rubber left on it. And then that one right in there, and I'll see if I can't stick my finger in here and get a couple of chips out of it. But that's basically what the seal is on both sides. So hence the reason the ends were leaking. You know, there's basically on the end, you've got your, there's, you know, a gasket that would go behind your axle right there when you bolt it in. So that's the only thing that was holding the grease in, and of course that disintegrated over time, and it just allowed the grease from the inside to come out, or the lube to come from the inside of the pumpkin. So a couple of issues there. And then I haven't whacked out the actual pinion gear yet. I did get the yoke off, and I got the oil slinger and everything, and got the seal out, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But still, I've got that soaking because the pinion shaft is actually seized into the front bearing down here. So I've got that soaking in PB Blaster. I'm hitting it from this side and letting it run down, and I've already hit it from the other side. So got all the brake lines off of here. Got one little thing. This is one of the clamps that would hold the brake lines on, and need to just cut that. I've got a new one on order on the way. Again, this is a Dana 23. So let's see if I can zoom in and show you the actual number. There you go, 23. So the original. And you can see this little number 2 right here. I will show you on the bearing caps. There's actually a number 2. Right there. You can barely make it out. So this bearing cap would line up with that 2 on the pumpkin, and then this bearing cap would go on the other side. And that's how you know, because those are all machined and straight from the factory. So we got to make sure those are straight. Did discover that the brake drums have been replaced, obviously over the 75 years. It's probably a good thing. But this one is kind of cool because it's got a little drain or a weep hole, and you can see right there. Now on this one, I think it was replaced separately, but there's like I don't know, some sort of a gasket material going around that, so there's no weep hole. So I might try to scrape that off and see if well, no, that's metal, so I don't know if there's supposed to be a weep hole there, or maybe it was just on the one side. It's kind of strange. So a little bit more to do there, and then obviously I got to get the seal in the bearings and race out of the hubs. Came off really easy. I will tell you that the bolts that actually hold the axle on, they're, you know, the one and then the lock washer plate and then the other. Somebody has done the old-fashioned way. They didn't actually have the socket, the 2 and I think it's 2 1/16, 2 1/8 socket, axle hub socket. And what they try to do is go in there with a hammer and a flat screwdriver or something and try to whack it loose. So you can see on some of the edges of those bolts, or excuse me, of those nuts. Let's see if I can't you can actually see where they've actually hit it with something, you know, flat to loosen it or tightening it or what have you. So not a good thing to do. Those need to be torqued down to spec, and we're going to make sure we do that on the way back in. The seal, oh, the front pinion seal. This was a fun one. That was in there, and it took vice grips and some channel locks using leverage, and finally was able to pop it right out. I will say that probably took me a good 15 minutes to get that out of there. The gears, again, are really, really good shape. No pitting, no scoring, no chips, no, you know, all the teeth are looking great. And this is just grease here, so I can wipe that right off. Those will clean up really nice, and then the bearings, obviously front or left and right, will come out, and then the actual race that's they're not in bad shape at all. So that's been riding really good. It's just the seals and the axle right there on the inner axle seals right there. And I need to get out of there and then clean this all up real nice. And good news is the first batch of parts have been ordered. I went to Kaiser Willys out of South Carolina, right outside of Augusta, Georgia. Have free shipping. Ordered everything, I believe, on a Tuesday. This past Tuesday, I believe that would be what, the 10th or 11th of August. And everything's supposed to be here next Wednesday, which would be the 16th, 18th. Coming UPS ground, and I got pretty much everything on the order. The only thing that's back ordered is the left-handed thread shackle for the front leaf spring, and then the pre-formed brake line kit, and then one other item, and I think it was a seal that I needed for the steering box over here, is on back order. So I'm just going to wait on that. That's not anything that we need to do to get it back together, with the exception of the shackle on the front. Hopefully that'll show up in a couple of weeks. But the goal is, again, get this into a rolling chassis and get everything cleaned up from laying around in the shop floor here, the garage floor, get it back into rolling chassis, and then start working on the transmission, transfer case, and the engine itself. The brake pads, and actually I wanted to point out, no leakage of the seals, of the brake seals on the brake cylinders here in the drums. A little bit, that's probably PB Blaster that I hit from the other side, but usually this is just gooed down, and you can see usually this spring would be just coated, and then down in here would be just coated with some brake fluid. So it doesn't look like those are leaking too bad. They are old, so I think they're going to be able to be cleaned up with wire brushing and a bore brush, and then maybe new pistons, obviously the seals, and then the brake pads will be replaced. Basically what I'm going to do is dismantle everything and then paint those, or actually wire brush and paint the brake plate separately, and then also the drums. We're going to take those and get those machined at a brake shop. There's not much anything of a lip. I can't even feel on this side, but this one has just a little bit of a groove. I haven't micrometered those out to make sure they're within specs, but here you go, trusty micrometer, digital, and I will be measuring those, make sure they're right there. And then that's about it. So everything you see laying around, I've got it organized, laid out exactly where I need it so that I know what it is, and I've got labels on everything, with the exception of stuff that goes to particular mechanisms. I just took these off, so I've still got to bag those bolts up and label the baggie. And then just like I do here is I write on it, put everything for the rear passenger hub. That makes sure that that hub and those parts will go back on the passenger side of the differential when I reassemble, with the exception of the replacement parts. So as I put it back together and I get the replacement parts, if I don't need them out of this baggie, I'll discard them and then replace with the new, and go from there. So everything's come along nicely, and this frame really did take a lot of work. I've probably got a good 40 hours plus just in the frame, just chipping off of the dirt and the muck and the bed coating. But it cleaned up really nice. And as long as we can get that bolt out of there, out of that bracket, we're going to be in good shape. If not, we're going to have to order a new one, and then either get it welded on, or actually, these rivets here can be, ground off, and then you can buy this actual plate here with the bracket on it. And then there's a kind of a foot operated hydraulic press that kind of squishes that, or these rivets, steel rivets, together. So we'll try to get those, we'll try to get that bolt out of here a couple of days. Now the inside, sorry, it's upside down here, I'm standing over, but that little piece that I was able to cut off, that I left on there, that moves. So the inside of the frame, the little shackle, that little piece, this moves, it twists. So that means the inside of that bolt is freed. Now I've got to get the bolt freed from the actual bracket on the frame. So more to come on that. Hopefully in the next video I'll be able to show you that did in fact come off. And lastly, I wanted to show you the Pitman arm is looking really good. There's no marks or scoring or anything like that on that mating surface. Emery cloth it right off, and looks really good. Anywhere you see runs, it's because it was upside down, and I'll make sure that I sand those down before I actually do the final coat of paint. Just to make sure this is a professional job, or as close to professional as I can get it. Full-on restoration that we're doing here. We definitely want to make sure that if somebody climbs up underneath there with the microscope and looks at the frame, they know that we did a really good job, and attention to detail is the way I live. So I want to make sure that it gets back together so it's really a collector's item. And with that, YouTube, I will call it a day, and everyone enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.